Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Welcome to Astro Vedic Soul by Shruti Khanna. Today we'll be discussing a true motivational story of a boy called Sai Prasad Vishwanathan. Sai Prasad was born in Tamil Nadu in the year of 1984. Owing to an extraneous growth in his spinal cord, Sai had to be operated upon which he was just 13 days old. And due to the carelessness and callousness of the doctors, his lower part of the body was left dysfunctional after the surgery. And after the surgery, the child was just wheelchair bound for the rest of his life. So this was very heartbreaking for not only her mother and father, but also for his family. But this thing which would have made everyone around them very disheartened did not made his parents fall back, and instead of pitying his situation, his parents took him off from Tamil Nadu to Hyderabad, and then they started living a new life there. And then he started joining new schools, but because of his disability, he had to change schools again and again, and from one school to another. In 3 years he had changed 3 schools, but his parents were very determined about their little boy. They not only made him confident, but also made sure that they only told him inspirational and motivational stories and planned his study routines. And not only that, but they kept him occupied, but by telling him motivational and inspirational stories day after day. So what happened was, after Sai realized that if I am differently abled, but by mind I can conquer everyone. So he started studying more, and after few months, what happened was he was becoming the topper of the class, and day after day and year after year he was the topper of the class. So the friends also didn't talk to him because of his pity, but they started befriending him because of his knowledge, and then gave him respect, not because of sympathy but because of his knowledge. So then he passed school, but then there was another hurdle in his life. A nail was he was hurt by a nail in his feet, because of which he was although he was his second half below body was not able to feel sensation, but he was not well, and spent many months recovering from that. So but his parents were determined and made sure that Sai would not fall back in any situation. So what he wanted to say, I will quote here: years after years you are gone, people will not remember you for what obstacles you faced. People will remember how you emerged victorious. So Sai not only could walk, but things but could not only walk with help, but later on he received the Pratibha scholarship and gold medal from the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh for his brilliant academic performance in high school. In 2002, Sai got into electrical engineering at the Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology. Even though the college was just 5 kilometers away, but it was not easy for Sai to commute. But later on he started driving a scooter, by which he felt immense independence, which he himself writes, I still remember how elated I was. For the first time I could be on my own. It was a milestone. My college administration too was extremely helpful, made extraordinary efforts to ensure I could manage as on my own. Sai's academic brilliance and how he topped every exams made him more and more victorious. and now he had dreamt of getting into NTPC. But when he entered the difficult NTPC environment and the companies there, he realized how the infrastructure was not at all good for the differently abled. So his dream of getting into NTPC was gone. Later on, he realized that he had heard that in foreign countries the situation for the differently abled is much better and there are very good facilities for them. So he thought of giving interviews and learning at doing his post graduation from some foreign country. So he got into the University of just so Sai discussed his apprehensions with the college authorities. He wanted to be interviewed impartially, and he was getting up to give interview to companies who would not rather see his disability or handicap problem, but would rather focus on his intelligence and knowledge. So he gave interview for Infosys and later on was selected, and still he was having issues because he had to go to the Mysore campus for his training. His parents were also double minded, but once he went to Mysore and was taken aback by the good infrastructure Infosys had provided for the differently abled, he was very happy with the term which he got his in life was accessibility and not disability. Back in Hyderabad, after the training, Sai started researching more about the accessibility. When he got to know that the foreign countries have much better life for differently abled people, he said that it perturbed me that in India, instead of being helped, the disabled are told that their condition is due to sins and karmas of their past life. There are people like me in India who are not even aware of the quality of their lives could be transformed just by better facilities. So Sai wanted to create awareness about this, and then he applied for universities for masters in engineering. He received a research scholarship to attend the University of Wisconsin. So he went there and then he studied, and once he studied, although his parents were again double minded about sending him to abroad and in harsh weather conditions, but he survived everything. And later on he even tried for skydiving from the 14,000 feet. Although it was difficult because his legs were not functional, he had to land on his back, but he still did that and did that successfully. So Sai's name also came in Limca Book of Records. Suddenly people realized that if the right infrastructure was provided, any person could do anything, be it a differently able person also. So once I realized that I had to go to my own country and make people realize what they are missing, so he applied for Indian School of Business program, PJP flagship program. But then he realized that you needed 2 years of experience, but he had only 1 year of experience. But then what he did was that Sai not only made the admission council show him his profile and consider his case as an exception, but later on he made sure that he would motivate all of, not only the teachers but all the students. Sai became so popular there that teachers and the management had to charge a nominal fee so that they could attend his lecture. So he didn't thought about that he couldn't get into the IITs or the top colleges, or couldn't get into the NTPC, but what he focused was on his strengths. And he said, we create stories in which the central character is someone everyone can relate to in some or the other way. He was giving lectures to people who understood what A differently able person can also do what others can't, but with the help of right infrastructure and right facilities. So there were workshops, and even after the workshop, there was, after talking with one of his professors who was at the Ministry of Social Justice, there was a new beginning, and there was a venture called the Sahasra Foundation. Students in the Sahasra Foundation would pay a nominal fee admission for the workshops, and then, along with practical information about their career planning, Sai would quote several inspirational stories and leadership examples to them so that they could further continue their career path. Around 20,000 students till date, and some more than that, have have participated in the program from various colleges and university campuses, and Sahasra has generated more than $100,000. So what we can learn from this? Not only a differently able person can do anything, but if you set your mind to anything, a person who has not only a half functional body, just if you set your mind to something, you can do anything, but you should be very determined about it. So Sai also raised pertinent questions about differently able people, and also came in the show of Satyamev Jayate, which Amir Khan was hosting. So in 2010, Sai received the Helen Keller Role Model Person Award of the Year for his contribution towards society. So, as he quotes, I was excited and nervous and wondered if I would be able to manage in the extreme weather conditions, but determination to enjoy life made me take the plunge. So, he was also contacted by the Robert Swan, the first person to walk the North Pole, South Poles, as the Antarctic Youth Ambassador Program of 2041. And then a team of 80 young men and women went there, and Sai was among those. So not only this, the Sahasra Foundation has been recognized by the top 10 business plans submitted to the Global Social Venture competition held by the University of California, Berkeley, Wharton and Kellogg, which have recently released a report of Sahasra's work, promoting it as a sustainable, scalable model for inclusive growth of society. So he not only talked about how differently able people can work in KFC, how a deaf person can work as a traffic policeman, and how these are small things which can give employment to differently abled, and how our perceptions towards them should change. And a very important point which Sai himself mentioned is that the parents are very limiting towards their children. The parents are not only limiting towards the children, because if they think their son or daughter is differently abled, they make sure that they make him or her a homebound person. Nor he or she can go outside, but rather they should fight for the injustice and talk to the government of India to provide infrastructure and better facilities for people, so that not only the able people, not only the differently able people can also access bus stops, airports, hospitals and educational institutes. So what do we have learned today from the Sai Prasad Vishwanathan story? That anything is possible if you put your mind to it. So, things like being differently able would not stop you from celebrating life, dreaming, hoping and believing. Disability is just a thing which is in your mind. If you put your mind to something, you are very much determined to do anything in life. And if you have the confidence and the right opportunity and support, you can do anything in life. Thank you for listening till the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed Sai Prasad Vishwanathan's true motivational story. Thank you for listening till the end of the video. Om Namah Shivaya.